Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is the fourth video in this series, and in the last video we discussed methods, we discussed properties, events and event listeners, and in this video we will discuss a new concept called display list, and we will also revise the concepts from the past videos. So first let's get started with the new concept. Let's discuss what that is. The display list is basically like a container in Flash. In Flash, everything is contained, everything is added in the display list. It's the display list is like a stack of books. All right, imagine books stacked on a table, and each book has a position in the stack, and you can add more books anywhere in the stack, or you can remove a book from anywhere in the stack. And the concept is exactly the same with the display list. The objects you can add, the new objects you add, they are added at the top, and you can of course change their positions. You can access any specific item from any specific index however you want. It depends on your project or your needs. Anyways, get started with this, and open up Flash Professional and create a new ActionScript 3 project. Now, by object I mean anything here, any button or any game character or anything that you draw using the tools panel or using the ActionScript 3. Everything is contained within the actions within the stage within the display list, but everything is stacked one above the other. So every object has an index position. Index positions start from 0, so the buttonmost element, the buttonmost object is at the index 0, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, just like that. To demonstrate this display list, let's create a movie clip. Grab the rectangle tool and create a movie clip. Convert this to movie clip, and now go ahead and create another movie clip. Let's create a circle. Let me change its color. Now create another one. Let's make a hexagon or a pentagon. I think it is. Yes, it's pentagon. Select it and convert it to a movie clip. First, let me change the color. Now convert it to a movie clip. And now if you position them one above the other, you will see that each of them will have a separate position. So first we added this one, so it should be at the bottom, and then above that the circle should be above this rectangle. So if you move this, you'll see that it is moving above the rectangle, and the rectangle is moving below everything, right? And this pentagon, this pentagon will be above everything. Now you can go ahead and add more if you want. You can add anything, and you'll see that this will be above everything else. Here you go. Now of course you can send them back or front, send them back or above, or however you want it. So if you want to send this black pentagon one index backward or downward in the stack, all you have to do is you have to press Control Shift and the down mouse and up mouse. Yes, the down arrow basically it sends the element, the selected object at the bottom, and the Control Shift up arrow brings it at the front. Same goes with any other element like this. It simply changes their index numbers. And this is really the concept of the display list. I don't think there's anything else basically. But now let's just revise. Now let's use ActionScript 3 to position everything. Let's explain this in a better way by using the code. What we'll do is we'll use all the concepts that we've discussed in previous videos, and we'll use all of those concepts to explain this concept, display list. This way the old concepts will be revised and this display list will also be better understood. So what we can do is go to Actions panel. First of all, what you have to do is go to here, create this, and you know what, let's just not use the graphics, the toolbox. Let's use the Actions panel. If you have a difficulty using the code, you should then use graphics. I'll explain it both ways, but first let's go ahead and use the ActionScript. So let's create a variable to contain the movie clip that we want to create. So var, let's say my movie clip, let's just say MC, my MC, and we'll give it a data type of sprite. You can also call it a movie clip, but since we won't be animating the movie clips, we can call it sprite. It's the same thing. It's equal to new sprite. So sprite is a data type. It's simply just graphics. You cannot contain timeline animation inside these sprites, which is something we don't need here. So we created a new variable named myMC, and its data type is sprite, which means it will not have timeline animation. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a class named graphics, and we're gonna draw graphics inside this sprite. So myMC dot start typing graphics, and you should see in the hints. Press enter. So it says myMC dot graphics. From inside the graphics, what we want to do is we want to use a method which is called begin fill. Begin fill basically fills the color you want. So say you can have a color here, any color that you want. Let's select a random color, give it its alpha. Alpha is basically transparency of this color. It starts from 0 and ends at 1. 0 means 0% fully invisible, and 1 being 100% fully visible. So let's set it to 1. Now say MC dot graphics dot draw a circle. When you select a draw circle, this function has three arguments. The first is the X position of this sprite on the stage. This stage can have an X and Y position, right? So let me demonstrate this. So when we draw this rectangle and you select this, you'll see it has an X and a Y value, right? So this Y and X values are just like a coordinate system, but not exactly like a coordinate system. The concept is the same. In mathematics, the Cartesian coordinate system is something like this. Wait a minute. Let me sketch out. So in here in the middle of the plane, there's 0, and this is this point is Y positive, this point is Y negative, this point is X positive, and this point is X negative. So this is 0, and if this is like here, it is at 0, and when we move it here, it moves towards the positive, and to the other direction it's negative, and if it's here, the Y goes positive and then negative. The concept is same with the ActionScript 3 or the Flash stage, but the thing is the 0 is at the top left corner right here. Now if you place this rectangle here, you'll see its position is set to 0, 0. If you start moving it to the right, the X will increase. and if you start moving to the left, the x will decrease to the negative. So x starts from the 0, the top left corner is the origin, and y is positive downward, it's just flipped. Y is positive downward. You can see if you move it down, you'll see y is increasing, and if you move it up, the y is decreasing. So this is how the coordinate system in Flash works, just so you know. Open up your actions panel, and now let's give it a position. So x, let's set it to 0, 0 for now. Give it a radius of 50. And after drawing the circle, we have to end the fill. So you can do that by saying graphics dot, sorry about that, graphics dot end fill. If you test the movie clip, you should not see nothing at the point. The movie clip, the sprite, it has been created. It has been created. Alright, now what you need to do is you have to add it to the stage. To add it to the stage, we have a method, we have a function called add child, and just give the name. Now this function will simply add my MC to the stage, and if you test the movie clip now, if you test the movie now, you should see the circle right here, and the circle is currently at 0, 0, 0, 0 is in the center of the circle, so that's why we see only this part of the circle. Now if you want to reposition it, you can use dot syntax to set its x and y position. You can say my MC dot x is equal to something, anything you want. You can say 100. You can say my MC, sorry about that, my MC dot y is equal to 100 as well. You see that it's moved. If you want to set it to a random location, you can say math.random. Math.random is a function which generates a random number from 0 to 1. So it will be anything from 0 to 1. It can be 0.10596, anything 0.1, 0 to 1. And you can multiply this random number with the width of the stage and set it to the x position of MC, my MC. You can say stage dot stage width. So math.random multiplied by stage.stage width simply gives you a point on x-axis that will be anywhere in the stage. It will be random every time. And you can do the similar thing for the y, math.random multiplied by stage.stage height. Now this will position your sprite, the my MC, randomly every time you run the movie clip. So this time it's here, next time you'll see it's here, and now it will be at a different location. That's how it works. And this is how you can add the childs at any location you want. You can use another function called add child at, and this has an additional argument which is the index number, which means where do you want to add this child. So if there are already like 10 elements or 10 objects on the stage, you can add this very child, my MC, anywhere in the stack, at the bottom, in the middle, or at the top, your choice. Let's remove this for now. So this is I hope you understood this. What to explain next? Let's see. Let's use a different approach to explain this concept with further understanding. This was how you can create new objects and add them to the stage. let's go ahead and use all the concepts we've discussed in the previous videos and do the same concept. So create a rectangle, create a circle, create a pentagon, change their colors so that they're different looking. So now convert them to movie clips. Give them name. Let's call this rectangle. Let's call this REC. Let's give it a name of circle and pentagon. Now we can access this, of course, but to communicate with ActionScript 3, to communicate with the code, let's just get rid of this. Now go to library and you'll see all these elements are added. Also all the other elements are added as well. We're just going to use these are three. So click on the pentagon, go to click on right click on properties, go to advanced settings, and then export for ActionScript, and then give it a name. Let's call it pentagon, and then press OK, press OK again. Go to the rectangle, go to properties, export for ActionScript, call it rec, press OK, OK again. Properties, export for ActionScript, circle, OK, OK again. Now if you see this, there's a column called AS linkage. There's a column called AS linkage, and this basically means we can use ActionScript 3 to communicate with these objects from the library by using these names. So go ahead and create go ahead and open the ActionScript panel, and what we can do now is create a variable, call it pentagon. Now the data type here will be the name of this AS linkage, which is pentagon with the capital P. Go ahead and say equal to new pentagon. Just add this to the stage by saying add child pentagon. Pentagon will be added to the stage. Now create a new variable. We will set its position later on by using arrays, so that we can explain how to use arrays. Let's say rectangle, call it rec is equal to new rec, add child. You know what, let's not use this add child function, not yet, or maybe yes. Let's go ahead and create a third one, variable circle is equal to new circle. Sorry about that, that's not what we should have done. So delete this import statement. Now what we can do is we can create an array. So let's create an array. Let's call it objects of data type array, and then in the array just store the names of these three variables: pentagon, rectangle, circle. Now use a for loop for variable I int is equal to 0, I is less than, sorry about that, I is less than the length of objects array, right? And then I plus plus. Do you recall the loops? I hope this example will really clear your mind about all of this concept that we have discussed in the previous videos. So to add these to the stage, what we can do is add child what do you want to add here in this step? We want to add all of these that are in this array, right? So in the first cycle, the loop is at this index 0, so we want to add this one to this stage. In the second cycle, this is the loop is at the index 1, then we want to add this one to this stage, and then after that, in the last cycle, we want to add circle to this stage. So by simply saying objects of I, so when the first time this loop runs, the i's value is 0, so it will add child. What it will add will be the first this 0 index element in the array objects. So it will go to this objects array, and then it will see the current element at the index, which will be 0 in the first cycle, so pentagon, and then by using this function it will add that to the child, add that to this stage. Now if we test this, we will see that all of those must be added to the stage. We are getting an error. Let's see what that is. It says value of the rectangle to n. Sorry about that, we didn't have to type rectangle here. This has to be rec, and then this is circle. We misspelled circle. If you check the movie now, you can see that all of these are added right here. Of course, if you want to add this, change their positions, you can say objects of I, whatever we just added to the stage, set its x to stage width multiplied by math.random, which means set it to a random position, and objects of I dot y is equal to stage height multiplied by math.random. If you test now, all of these objects should be at random positions on the stage, just like expected. Here you go. So now I think this is what you need to know, but I really want to do one more thing, which will use more concepts that you haven't really discussed, you haven't really learned yet, but I think I should do that to make you understand the concept of linked lists. Sorry about that. To make you understand the concept of the stage, the display list, to make you understand the concept of display lists. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the event listeners of mouse down and mouse up on all of these objects. So you can say objects of I, whatever is being added to the stage, add an event listener called mouse event dot mouse down. False. Sorry about that, you don't have to understand. So say call it object down, then add another event listener for the mouse up event. Say add event listener mouse event dot mouse up object up. Now let's define these functions. Function object down evt mouse event void. Now what we want to do is we simply want to add child. So to make you understand the concept of display lists, what I can do is I can re-add the same child. So when we add that child again, it will be added to the top of the stack. So say add child evt dot target. This basically whatever the whatever the event mouse down was triggered on is the target of this current event, right? It will be added to the display list again. You can also say evt.target, which means the object that the mouse down event is currently triggered on. You can say dot start drag. This is a new function. If you don't want to understand it, just don't pay attention to it right now. Let's say mouse up function, object up, simply say evt.target.stop drag. Say we've got an error. Let's see what it is. What is this? Line 25. We shouldn't be getting this. Well, I don't think we should be getting this error, but let's remove this, add child for now, and see if it works. We can drag and drop these on the stage anywhere we want, and we can see that they are stacked the way we created them, right? This pentagon is at the bottom. This stacking is exactly in the order of this array. So pentagon is at the bottom, this is added the first, then rectangle is in the second, and circle is the last one at the top. So they are following this order. You need to create an object, rectangle and circle. To do that, what you can do is every time in each cycle we are adding the object to the stage, you can say dot index number is equal to I. So every object will have an object inside it called index number, and its index number will have a value of I. So in the first cycle the pentagon will have an index number, so we're saying pentagon dot index number is I, so pentagon's index number is 1. In the second cycle, rectangle's index number will have a value of 2. In the third cycle, circle's index number will have a value of 3. So in the object of function, what we can do is we can say add child we want to go to the objects array, and we want to tell it to add that current child that we clicked on. How do we know what we clicked? We can know that the target object by saying evt.target, and each target object has an object inside it called index number, which is the index number of itself. So evt.target.index number will simply work. Now if we check this, you can see that when we stack these together right here, now if you click on this one, it comes at the top because we are adding it again to the stack, so it adds at the top of the stack. Click on the rectangle, it is added at the top. The pentagon is added at the top. You can play along, you can create more objects and play with them and really understand the concept. And this is what I wanted to explain to you. Now in this video we did discuss more concepts, some things that you did not understand. This is, I think, was new to you, the dot index number. If you did not understand that, just don't focus on it right now. We will discuss these in the future videos as well. And one more thing is start drag and stop drag. It's a fairly simple concept. It's simply a function that starts where you can start drag and stop drag. It's very simple, but if you did not understand it, you can ask me any question. And the other new thing that we discussed was this math.random. It's simply a function that is generating a value between 0 and 1, and this stage width is basically width of the stage, which is set in the properties. which is the 550. So it multiplies 550 with a random value. So every time we get a random value within the range of 550, from 0 to 550. So the object is placed randomly on the stage. So again, to summarize this video, we've discussed the new concept of display list, and we've also revised all the previous concepts. So this should be a great video, and I think you should understand everything. If you did not understand anything in this video, anything at all, just give me a question, post me a question in the comments, or email me a question. I will reply you as soon as possible. And I think this video is gone too long. We should end this video right now. So see you in the next video. Like always, thanks for watching this video. Share it with your friends if you like, and see you in the next video.